Get ready, buffoons. Your favorite podcast is about to get even better. We're excited to announce the launch of our new podcast companion coming very soon.
Explore bizarre historical events, strange characters, and outlandish theories. It's the perfect way to satisfy your curiosity and discover the unexpected. Stay tuned for more details.
What the heck was that?
I had like little jazz hands.
Yeah. Oh, hey there.
Oh, hey there.
How's it going, Kate?
Good.
Good. That was short and sweet, but all right.
I fed the cats early. I mean, it's not that early, but I fed the cats early because Amos was starting to get a little talkative.
Do you know what I find funny? You typically, at the beginning of every episode, we go, oh, hey there. All that. And I go, how's it going, Kate? I'm good. You never fucking ask me how I am. I'm good too. Thanks for asking.
How are you?
Doesn't matter. Clearly, it doesn't matter.
Well, we are history buffoons.
Yeah, we're definitely buffoons.
And Bradley, tell me, how are you today, really?
I am doing well, Kate. Thank you for finally asking me. It's been many episodes. We've recorded a plethora of them.
Yeah.
And I'm doing well. Yeah. Funny thing is, it's probably doing well the other ones, but you wouldn't know. But either way. Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
Okay.
We are history buffoons. Thank you for joining us on this episode.
Yes. I have a beer that I did not think I was going to try tonight, but I am.
Well, let's hear about it.
Okay, so this is the Copper State Brewing Company.
Okay.
And it is brewed in Green Bay.
Oh, nice.
Which is where I work.
And
it's called Rugged North Lager.
Rugged North. Mm-hmm. I can't tell where mine's from. So I have a beer from Belching Beaver Brewery. Belching, like... Rah.
What do you think a belching beaver sounds like?
Well, you'll probably find out in a little bit after I drink this. It's peanut butter flavored milk stout. Stout with natural flavor. It also contains lactose. Good thing I'm not intolerant. So normally, you heard Kate's beer open. Normally, we both open ours at the same time. However, mine being a peanut butter milk stout, I poured mine into a pint glass. I just feel like it was warranted. So cheers.
Cheers. I like mine. It's a little heavier.
That is pretty fucking good.
The peanut butter?
Yeah. So it's not like overly peanut buttery, but it certainly has that flavor to it. And I am not much of a stout drinker normally. Actually, the only one I normally drink is Narwhal from Sierra Nevada. And
Nathan would actually probably like that because he likes peanut butter, he likes stout, he likes dark, all the time.
I would be shocked if Nathan didn't like this.
Yeah, so we'll have to text him
the name of this one.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah,
because I think you would enjoy this. So yeah, for sure. It's cool. It's really, really good. The peanut butter is not too strong. It's nice and subtle, but certainly there's some good flavor there. So what do you think of yours? I like it. It's a little heavier than what I'm used to. I thought it might be. It is a lager, which you do like your lagers, and that's why I thought. But yeah, it's good. I like it, yeah. Excellent. I would drink it again. Yeah. 5 stars. Drink again. So, picture this. You go to college. Oh. I know that was a stretch, but... Wow. Shots fired early on. Jesus Christ. You go to college for 3 years. Oh. And then you come back, and you're on vacation. You come back after 3 years. Okay. And everyone that you've ever loved... Oh, dear. Including your house... I don't love my house. Is gone. Oh, thank God. That house is finally gone. Fuck. About time. Okay. Picture this. Yes. Got it. Grasp it. Everything's what do you think would have happened? Tornado. Oh, okay. That's good. Yeah. Apocalypse. What kind of apocalypse?
A zombie?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
anything else?
Brains.
I mean, even your house is gone. The zombies don't care about homes.
Well, they need to live somewhere.
So I guess tornado is
probably
because I mean you're gone for 3 years. It could have happened after month 1.
It could have happened after day 1, as far as we know.
Yeah, and then
I feel like
everything is cleaned up by the time you get back, and you're like, "Where the heck my house go?"
I feel like there'd be correspondence before then, though.
But would there be?
I mean, yeah, I'd be like, I haven't heard from my parents in months. Something's wrong. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't just be gone for 3 years. I probably would have.
But what if it was really difficult to communicate with them?
Like pre-cell phone?
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean.
But I'm talking like pre-cell phone.
So are you talking like pre-phone?
Yes.
I mean, I guess if I didn't get a letter in correspondence.
By pigeon?
Yeah. Pigeon. Carrier fucking pigeon? Did you know they're extinct?
No.
I'm pretty sure they are.
I thought carrier pigeon was just a pigeon who carried shit.
And again, I'm a buffoon, so don't quote me on this.
Sure.
Sure. Thanks for the confirmation on that. I think it's a pigeon, but I think it was a specific species of pigeon.
Could be.
Pigeon?
Like a blue-footed booby?
You even got the snort in that one, folks. That's fucking fantastic.
Okay, we are going to talk about...
Okay,
so normally, I'm going to head this off as I don't typically like to mix a ton of true crime with our podcast because there's fantastic true crime ones out there.
There's plenty. You got your favorites.
Yeah, and so I don't want to step on those toes at all.
No, of course not.
But we are going to talk about the oldest missing persons case in America.
Oh, really?
Yes.
What year are we talking about?
We're going to go into the 1500s here.
Holy shit, really?
Yes. We are going to talk about the story of the lost colony of Roanoke.
Hey!
Hey-yo!
Do you know who gave you that idea?
I don't know.
Me.
Cool! Thanks, Bradley.
You're welcome.
I didn't write down who it was from.
Yeah. What was written on the tree? Krakatoa or whatever? No, that's the other one. Yeah.
Okay. So European.
That happened in the 1600s.
No, it happened. Well, no, it happened in the 1500s, but the 16th century.
Oh, maybe that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
My bad.
So, European exploration.
Yes.
To the outer banks.
Yes.
Of modern-day North Carolina began in the 16th century.
1500s.
Okay.
Maybe that's what I was thinking.
So North Carolina has these string of
outer
islands.
Banks.
Yeah. And it looks phenomenal, and I want to go. So let's go.
Oh,
let's pack up the kids, pack up Sarah, pack up Neith. Let's go.
Have you ever been to North Carolina?
Yes. No. Yes. I don't know. Was I there? I don't know. I've been to South Carolina for sure. I know.
I'm not talking about South, but okay.
My best friend, hi Leona. My best friend lives in North Carolina.
I know. You told me that.
And I don't remember if I've ever been.
So I've only been there once, unfortunately. I've been to Asheville, which shout out to the Asheville folk because they're going through some shit with that hurricane and everything. I believe they're still cleaning up from that, if I'm not mistaken, at this recording. I've been there once. I won a trip through work out there to go to the Sierra Nevada brewery that they built because they're originally from California, but they built one in Asheville. Oh dear, 5, 6, 7 years ago, give or take, somewhere in that vicinity, I believe, to help with supply, if you will, throughout the country. And big shout out to Sierra Nevada because of that hurricane. If I remember the post properly, they were shut down, obviously, but they opened up their restaurant, basically. And if you were an Asheville resident, you could go there and get a free meal.
Awesome.
And just kind of it was in order to bring the community together to be like, hey, how you doing? Such and such, whatever. It was basically the gist was that. So shout out to Sierra for doing that because that's pretty awesome. Cool. Yeah.
I hope someday that we can do something like that. Maybe not such a scale, but at least donate
something.
Yeah,
because I'd love to help out with stuff like that if I could, but it was really cool that they did that for those people because obviously that's a super hard time with what they're dealing with. And I couldn't even imagine. I mean, we're in Wisconsin, so we don't have anything like that to worry about. We have tornadoes here and there, but nothing to that scale. So that's got to be tough. So well done, Sierra Nevada.
Well, there was this Florentine explorer named Giovanni de Verrazzano.
Yes.
He sailed for the French king, Francis I.
Okay.
And he skirted the Outer Banks in 1924. So he never actually landed.
In 1924?
Sorry, why do I keep saying 19?
I don't know.
15. 24.
That's fantastic.
He sailed right by the Outer Banks, but never touched land. Okay.
So he never landed.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
The following year in 1525.
Not 1925?
The Spanish explorer Pedro de Cuello passed by on his voyage to the Chesapeake Bay, which is just north by a little bit and just inland of the Outer Banks.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So despite these early encounters, neither the French nor the Spanish attempted to establish a settlement in that region.
Interesting. I wonder why.
So, jump to 1584. Okay. During this time, the Spanish Empire continued its expansion in the Americas with ongoing colonization efforts and explorations in new territories. So they were in Central America, the Caribbean islands, and even Florida in 1513.
Sure.
And then there was the Anglo-Spanish War.
Okay.
And that was ongoing naval battles and skirmishes between England and Spain.
Skirmishes?
Skirmishes. Why?
You've said that word before.
I know. Skirmishes.
I love that you keep calling it skirmishes.
I don't even know.
I'm sorry, folks. The new word is skirmishes.
Skirmishes between England and Spain. Okay. So
I love that.
England had undergone a Protestant Reformation.
Yep.
While Spain remained a staunch Catholic nation. So religious differences led to political and military clashes between the two countries.
Makes sense.
So both England and Spain were expanding their colonial empires into the Americas.
Sure.
And competition for resources and territory often led to conflict.
Yep.
So Spain was a major economic power in Europe, while England was seeking to expand its own economic influence. The competition led to trade disputes and naval battles.
Sure.
So the English and Spanish governments frequently engaged in political maneuvering and alliances, which often contributed to the outbreak of hostilities.
Wasn't King Henry's first wife the Catherine of Aragog? I know we always say that. Wasn't she Spanish? Am I thinking right?
Yeah.
So English, Spanish, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, maybe.
But maybe they're still pissed that they got divorced.
Could be. So that's the year 1584. I don't do numbers well, folks. Okay.
I'm dyslexic.
Yes. Okay. So the year is 1584. Okay. So
gotcha.
Sir Walter Raleigh, who was a wealthy courtier and a favorite of Elizabeth I. Sought the Queen's permission to establish a colony in North America.
Right.
Okay. Begone, colonizer.
Wow.
Just kidding. He was just a sponsor.
Begone, colonizer. Wow.
Never mind.
That's pretty great.
You're just giving us money. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
So he was given exclusive rights to possess and exploit the resources of the whole of the continent under sovereign authority of the crown, excluding only those parts already inhabited by Christians, aka Europeans.
Correct. Isn't it funny? It's you can do what you want with that. I give you that authority. It's who the fuck are you to give authority over that? You don't live there. Mm-hmm. You don't have rule over that. Mm-hmm. But all right, it's yours.
Yep.
But again, conquest and all that, and expansion.
So Raleigh quickly organized 2 ships, and in April 1584, Captains Amadis and Barlow set sail westward to explore new lands.
I don't recall, so maybe you have this. Maybe I should get my tally sheet out.
Oh, shit.
Oh, dear. It's a new part of the podcast. How many days did it take them? Weeks to get to the new land.
I don't have the information on this particular voyage, but
you have that
in a
somewhere?
future voyage,
Sure.
It was 76 days.
Oh, damn. Wow. 70. So 2.5 months
Yes.
it took to get to the new world, as they referred to it as.
Okay, so the cats have eaten, and Oliver wants to play now.
Oliver.
My chord.
You think I beg to differ?
Okay.
All right.
On July 4th,
Oh.
1584,
Oh, a couple years before.
the English sailors spotted North America.
Okay.
They landed on July 13th. I don't know why they waited so long.
9 days. They spotted it 9 days prior.
Yeah,
landed
so I mean,
finally. Wow.
were they still that far away?
I mean, maybe.
I guess.
Do you think they were like, land ho in 9 days?
Land ho.
In 9 days.
In 90. So they landed at an inlet near what is known as the Oregon Inlet. It's part of the Outer Banks.
Gotcha.
Okay. So the men explored the region and discovered the 8-mile-long island of Roanoke.
Yep.
And that is located between the Outer Banks and the mainland of what is now North Carolina.
So it's basically in the middle.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So they believed that this secluded island could serve as a military and pirate base and eventually a permanent English colony.
Okay.
So their ultimate goal was to challenge the Spanish dominance in the New World. So
Sure.
this is going to be like their starting point.
Gotcha.
So Amadis and Barlow returned to Europe with more than just tales of like fruitful island paradise, like all the trees and all the salt water.
How'd that go?
All the trees and all the salt water.
What is wrong with us?
We're buffoons.
We're buffoons.
So they actually brought back 2 Algonquin natives,
Oh, really?
Manteo and Wanchese.
Now, did they go willingly?
Yes, they did.
Okay.
They did.
Making sure they
So,
didn't kidnap some natives.
I'm actually going to talk about Manteo a little bit later. But back in England, the explorers, with the help of Sir Walter Raleigh, this sponsor,
Yep.
promoted the New World as a land of endless possibilities. And
Well,
we're like,
I mean-
hey, we've got some friendly natives here.
Well, supposedly.
Supposedly.
Stay tuned.
In 1585.
Oh, please. I gotta laugh.
Am I so dyslexic with numbers? Years. It's years.
It's years. And it's funny because you've done that over the last, I think, couple episodes, really. So it's pretty fantastic that...
Or irritating.
Or irritating that you're that consistent.
So 1585, Sir Walter Raleigh sent a fleet of 7 ships led by his cousin, Sir Richard Grenville.
Okay.
And he was to establish a colony on Roanoke.
Yes.
So after exploring the area, Grenville returned to England for more settlers and supplies, leaving a garrison of about 108 men under Ralph Lane's command.
Ralph Lane. Mm-hmm. Okay.
And he'll come up again.
Sure.
So during the winter and spring of 1585 and 1586...
15! She had to make that known.
Lane's men explored the surrounding region, discovering the Chesapeake Bay and hearing stories of gold mines inland.
Oh, how did he hear stories of gold mines inland?
All the natives speak English, apparently.
Well,
no, they don't, but...
Duh. I mean...
So Lane believed that the colony should be relocated to the Chesapeake Bay.
Instead of Roanoke?
Yes,
okay,
which is just north. Like, it's not very far away when you look at a map.
Sure.
So
yeah, you said it was pretty close.
Yeah, and it harbors, like, more potential for exploration, right?
Sure. Well, I mean, mainland, yeah. You're not stuck to an island.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
However, hostilities with the local Secotans forced him to abandon Roanoke in late June of 1586. Okay. Then Sir Francis Drake, who was a naval commander and explorer, arrived on the scene.
Oh, dear.
And offered to transport the colonists to the Chesapeake Bay, but a hurricane prevented them from doing so.
Did they name them back then like they do today?
I don't know. No.
Was it Hurricane Roanoke?
I mean, that'd be clever, but no.
It wouldn't be that clever.
Lane returned to England and reported his findings to Raleigh, emphasizing the advantages of the Chesapeake Bay as a location for a new settlement. Determined to make another attempt, Raleigh sponsored one final expedition.
Don't you find it crazy? Like, oh, hey, wait, I got to go back to England. 2.5 months later, I get to tell him. It's like,
yeah.
Because obviously it takes a while.
They had journals.
They had journals. No, it's just like crazy. It's like, hold on. Hold that question. I'll see you in 5 months. Mm-hmm. And that's with spending a day in England. Because I got to turn around the next day and come back. It's like, fucking A, man.
Yeah. So in 1587, Sir Walter Raleigh proposed a new approach to colonization.
Yeah.
Focusing on families rather than soldiers.
And that's why it's Raleigh, North Carolina, right?
Yes.
Named after him?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, this expedition was led by John White, who would become the governor of Roanoke.
Okay.
John White also were on the previous 2 expeditions to North America.
Gotcha.
He was like just one of the explorers.
Part of the crew kind of thing.
Part of the crew, exactly.
Okay. Sure.
So a group of approximately 115 men, and I've heard this as 118, 117, blah, blah, blah.
Give or take.
So a group of approximately 150 men, women, and children sailed to North America with the goal of establishing a permanent settlement north of Roanoke Island in the Chesapeake Bay region of Virginia.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was the goal.
So what is now known as Virginia?
Yes.
Obviously. Okay.
Yes. So there were no military men on this expedition.
Really?
No.
Why?
It was families. So John White...
Because they can protect themselves.
I know. So John White, well, I'm wondering if it's because of the quote-unquote hostile natives. He's like, well, we don't have any like weapons.
But you said they were friendly.
The original expedition...
They're like, we're going to get them.
Yeah. So
we'll pretend we're friendly.
John White brought his pregnant daughter, Eleanor.
Oh, dear.
And her husband, Ananias.
Say that again?
Ananias.
Can you spell that?
Ananias.
That is a unique name. I've never heard that name before.
And his last name is Dare, Dare.
Wow.
Eleanor and Ananias Dare.
That's crazy. Okay.
That's
a unique name.
So it took them 76 days to cross the Atlantic, right?
Sure did.
And because of their earlier hostilities with the natives and the men with Ralph Lane, they wanted to settle in the bay, but for unknown reasons, the captain...
Unknown reasons?
What'd I say?
Unknown.
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 I am Wisconsin, you know.
Don't you know?
So, for unknown reasons, the captain of the ship didn't want to go inland.
Why?
They said he ran out of time. I didn't know there was a time frame on this, but that's what he said. He ran out of time.
The timer ran out?
Yeah, so they literally settled on Roanoke Island instead.
So, not where they wanted to go.
No.
They're just like, you know what? Fuck it. We're going here. Even though we don't want to.
Pretty much. No, it was just the captain. Everybody else was like, no, we're supposed to go to Chesapeake Bay. And he's like, I'm not going to go that far. I'm out of time, so I got to go.
Dude, I got a date in 2.5 months in England. I got to go, man. What the fuck? What a piece of shit.
So, Governor John White.
John White.
He has an extensive diary.
Oh, really?
And it has been preserved.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's exciting.
Yes. So he is the only surviving account of where the colony's location is on Roanoke.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
He says they built their houses on a hilled embankment, surrounding them with a wooden palisade for protection.
Sure.
Okay. So that summer went by successfully. Okay. On August 18th, 1587, Eleanor Dare gave birth to a daughter.
Ooh.
Christened Virginia Dare.
Is that why it's named Virginia?
In honor of being the first Christian born in Virginia. So they must have had Virginia already.
But why would they? They didn't name that back in their days.
So I read something that they named her after the Virgin Queen.
Yeah, Virginia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, her name is is Virginia Dare. Okay.
I dare you to say otherwise.
So in order to make the colony last, they needed more people, more supplies. So 6 weeks after arriving in Roanoke, just days after his granddaughter's birth, John White sailed back to England, leaving his family behind.
What a dick.
They needed him to go.
I get that.
Bring reinforcements, would you please? You brought no military. We need military.
I still can't believe they didn't have any type of military presence. They're like, you know what? Take the weakest of the weak and just family members and like, you're good.
What? And why no military? Why only 115/818 people
that were just farmers, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Just families.
They had more than one ship.
Well, yeah, but the fucker didn't want to even go to where he was supposed to go.
That was the captain.
I know.
Okay, so White returned to England on November 5th, 1587, and by this time, reports of the Spanish Armada mobilizing for an attack had reached London.
Oh, wow.
And Queen Elizabeth had prohibited any ship from leaving England so that they might participate in the upcoming battle.
And that's why there was the delay to get back there, which when they got back there...
Yes, so... John White was granted permission to resupply the Roanoke Colony in 1588.
Okay.
But his ships were delayed by unfavorable weather.
Yes.
And then attacked by pirates.
Oh, those pesky pirates.
Resulting in the loss of all of his supplies and then, of course, he had to return to England.
Oh, shit.
So he tried.
Okay.
Following, with her permission, with the Queen's permission.
Of course.
Yeah. So following the defeat of the Spanish Armada in August... England maintained the ban on shipping in order to focus efforts on organizing a counter-armada to attack Spain in 1589. White would not gain permission to make another resupply attempt until 1590.
Holy shit.
3 years after he left them.
And then, not good stuff happens when he gets back there.
Yeah.
3 years.
So White managed to return to Roanoke on August 18th, 1590, the day of his granddaughter's third birthday.
Oh, dear.
The very day. He discovered, poof.
Nothing.
Everyone was gone.
So, what was written on the tree?
I will get to that.
Okay. I'm sure so you accuse me like, you busy? You're on your phone. I was trying to look up that fucking word because it's been bugging me because I can't fucking remember it. And I know it. And as soon as you say it, I'm like, fuck,
I'm literally going to say it in my next sentence.
Oh, my God. I'm sorry. I jumped the gun.
You usually do. Oh.
What does that mean?
He discovered everyone was gone.
Correct.
So, houses dismantled.
Everything.
Except for the wooden palisade.
The outer perimeter or whatever. Yeah.
So, I've heard conflicting reports.
Right.
So, I'm going to just say them all.
That's fine.
White discovered a tree with bark missing with the carved letters CRO etched in it. Now, there was another article that I read that had the CRO, but then there was another post that said Croatoan.
That's it, yes. What's that look for?
You just gotta let me talk, dude.
I'm asking questions.
Then there's another report that says they both existed.
Right.
So it was one or the other or both. Sure. I don't know. But I'm just going to talk about the CRO because that's the one that comes up the most.
Okay.
So no one knows what happened to the colony for 400 years.
Right.
No idea. So what the bloody hell happened?
Well, there's a lot of theories that since they felt like they were abandoned, supplies were out, such and whatever, that they melded into the local populace, if you will, the natives. There's another theory that they were all killed because, well, they're outsiders. Chop, kill, destroy, whatever.
Chop, kill, destroy.
But there's a lot. Obviously, there's thousands of theories of what might have happened to these people, but nobody fucking knows. So
I'm going to give you some theories.
I like the theories.
Number 1, cannibalism.
Yeah. Well, because, I mean, they ran out of supplies. People are dying, like hunger.
So Harvard archaeologist Lawrence Steger claims he actually discovered evidence that would suggest mass cannibalism on Roanoke.
Can you elaborate on his evidence?
No.
Tally one up.
No.
No?
There is none.
But then where the fuck did he just make it up?
Let me continue.
Oh my God. I'm sorry.
In the years on Roanoke, there was a extreme drought in the area, and it had been going on for like 800 years, supposedly.
800 years?
So some would say that the evidence points to the fact that colonists turned to plain old cannibalism to get through. Well, I tried to find Lawrence Steger and his magazine article from the Harvard Alum Magazine.
Okay.
All I could find were citations. I could literally not find anything.
Really?
No article, no evidence, no idea. And Steger died in 2017.
Of course. That's crap. That's too bad.
Second theory.
Okay.
Aliens.
What? Is that an actual theory?
Yes.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Third theory. We're not even going to stay there.
No, let's not, because that's just that's a fucking weak ass theory.
Third theory, okay. The settlers were murdered by local Native American tribe.
Yep.
And in fact, a previous attempt had been made by the English to colonize Roanoke between the years 1585 and 1586, which we talked about.
Yep.
But they soon returned to England after attacks of some of the Native Americans they encountered, as well as like the shortage of food.
Even though they brought some back and said, look at the friendly natives.
That was before.
I know. I'm just saying.
Ralph Lane, the governor of the first colony, killed the king of the local tribe.
What a dick.
Yeah.
Why would he do that?
To prevent an uprising.
Did they really have kings of tribes back then?
Well, that's what I read.
I know. I just find that odd.
But it was to prevent from them rising up against the colonists.
Well, I mean, apparently that didn't work. If that theory is correct,
there were no mass graves. No evidence of bodies, skeletons have ever been found.
Yeah, but I mean, they're on an island. There's an ocean right there. You can dispose of bodies in an ocean, and especially in late 1500s, they're not going to be like, they don't have the forensics we do today and shit like that.
I watched a video of two guys talking about the story, and one of them was like, did they rake the ocean? How did they know?
Well, exactly, and that's my point, is like, oh, skull must be a local native, though. It can't be one of our guys. But no, it's like, what the fuck? All right, anyways.
Okay, so the fourth theory.
Oh, dear.
It has been speculated that the tree, CRO, that was carved into it, was where the colonists lived on Roanoke. Like, where that tree was is where the settlement was.
Right.
That's what we all think.
Right.
And it's at the very north end of the island.
Yeah.
In John White's diary, he mentions that they were atop a hilled embankment.
Yeah.
But he also mentions the site had a large growth of, gosh darn it, I reread this word over and over and over to try to remember it, and now I don't remember.
I love it.
Scoopernog.
Scoopernog?
Scoopernog.
Scuppernog?
They are grapevines, like they're massive grapes. Okay, so this location had these grapevines along with the hilled embankment.
Sure.
Now, there's only one part of the island
that had this?
That has the grapevines that old. Like, they're still there.
Like, even today?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
That's impressive.
But it sits 3 miles away from the currently accepted location of the colony.
That seems weird.
Yes. So the new theory is they settled about 3 miles southeast, which has now been completely eroded away.
Oh, really? So the ocean reclaimed the land kind of thing.
Yes. Up to a half a mile has been eroded away since the late 1500s.
I mean,
that's a lot.
I mean, it's a lot. Grand scheme of time, maybe not, but that seems like a lot to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in this new site, a group called the Lost Colony Research Group has spent years sifting through the underwater sand.
Oh, really?
Hoping to find evidence that the colony once lived in that area.
So they are raking the ocean.
They are. They have actually discovered a piece of pottery that was a style and type of material that was used in the late 1500s.
By English settlers
yes.
and all that? Okay.
So it's possible they discovered a potential location for where the Lost Colony was from.
So I'm sure I'm jumping the gun and you're going to get mad at me for this. But like the CRO, Croatoa, right?
Croatoan.
Croatoan. Again, I don't know all of this and a lot of it's speculation, but wasn't that also like a place where they thought they went?
Yes, that is my next theory.
Okay, look at me go. You're welcome. I'm glad I could introduce that next theory.
Except for I'm not done.
Oh, fuck.
So in this case, why was the tree with CRO carved into it 3 miles north?
Yeah, that seems really weird.
Yes. So could it be the colonists were on the move?
I mean, that would be a very good assumption.
Croatoan is south.
Oh, and that was north?
And this was north.
Interesting.
So, apart from John White being the governor of the colony that he didn't live in.
And barely was there because he was, 76 days to England.
And he was the one that we got all this information from his diaries, but he was also an artist.
Oh.
Yes.
Did he draw pictures?
He painted a map of the Outer Banks, yes.
Does that map still exist?
Yes.
Nice.
So there's Roanoke, there's Croatoan, there's bodies of water, mainland, and then even the names of local tribes.
So he was a cartographer?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You know what that means, right?
Yes, map maker, thank you.
Okay, just making sure.
So we've had this map.
Yes.
So it wasn't until 2012 that non-invasive testing discovered something.
What'd they discover?
There is a patch of paper covering a part of the mainland.
What?
Mm-hmm. So you've got the map.
Yeah.
There's this little tiny parchment of paper, maybe the size of $50.
Okay.
Covering a portion of the mainland.
Why?
Well, this patch of paper has underneath, so non-invasive, investigation, right?
Right.
So there is a 4-pointed blue star with red ink in the middle.
And are they saying like that's where it is and then he covered it up?
Potentially.
Really?
So the maps take too much time to create, right?
Yeah.
So if there's ever a mistake or something that changes, they just cover it up.
Which, sure.
Yes. So
okay.
Could this be the location of the new colonists?
I never heard of this before.
But remember, John White had been here before.
Okay. Yeah, because, it's not like he was new to this.
Exactly.
He was there when he dropped people off, basically.
Yes, so he had accompanied Ralph Lane's expedition to the New World, where they established a fort in the Albemarle Sound. Albemarle... oh, God damn it.
Albemarle Sound?
Yes.
Let's go with that.
And that leads into the mainland off the Chesapeake Bay, where this star was covered. Okay. So the English quickly clashed with the natives, accusing them of stealing.
Of course.
And in retaliation, Lane's men burnt their village. How nice.
Jesus Christ.
And it resulted in the deaths of several natives.
I'm surprised there's only several.
And the English were forced to abandon the fort and return to England. So the site of Lane's fort marked on John's map coincided with that current location.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
So given this knowledge, it's possible that the Roanoke colonists, led by John White, may have sought refuge at this abandoned fort after abandoning their own colony.
Sure.
Okay. Now today they have discovered pottery from that era, but this type of pottery was also used in England all the way up to like the 19th century. Right. So it's not really definitive.
No, it's just like that's pure speculation at that point.
And also, Ralph Lane documented that in that particular area of the mainland, the tribes were hostile.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So why would John tell his colonists that this is a place of potential refuge
when there's hostility in the area? Yeah, that makes no sense at all.
So that brings me to the fifth theory.
Oh, there's another one.
CRO means Croatoan Island.
Right. Yeah, that's the one I was saying. Yeah.
I know.
I know. Sorry.
So the Croatoans are actually friendly.
Right.
Yes. So remember Matteo, who traveled with John White back to England?
Yeah.
Okay. So he was a Croatan.
Okay.
So they think Matteo took the colonists to Croatoan, where there would be more food and supplies and help and everything like that.
Better living, basically.
So John describes in his journal that CRO means Croatoan. So he gets back into his vessel to sail south.
To the island?
Yes, which is now called Hatteras.
Hatteras?
Yes.
Okay.
The island is now called Hatteras. Huh. And it's approximately 50 to 60 miles away.
Oh.
Okay. So to the south. It's still Outer Banks.
Yeah, but still back in those times, 50, 60 miles, that's a good jaunt.
So a very large storm, perhaps hurricane.
Oh, dear.
Continued to push him out to sea.
Okay.
And he eventually was so far, he just returned to England.
Oh, good. I mean, you got to be pretty fucking far out. Like, you know what? I see the new land, but I'm just going to go back the other 72 days.
Well, the wind is pushing you that way.
Which I get that, but it's like,
they don't have engines.
Maybe put your sails down. Fucking wow, that seems ridiculous.
So get that.
So he just abandoned everybody again.
Yeah.
Without any word. Okay.
So he actually died 3 years later in 1593 at 54 years old.
Did he die in England?
He did.
Okay.
He never knew what happened to his family.
Well,
his daughter and granddaughter.
Probably because he abandoned. I'd say abandoned ship, but abandoned country. I don't know. Maybe that's the title episode.
So today in the remote northern part of Hatteras Island, archaeologists have been conducting annual excavations for the past decade.
Sure.
After each dig, they have to recover their site for preservation. But every time they return, they literally uncover more and more and more items.
That's crazy.
And they're all from the 16th century.
So, I mean, that tracks.
They have discovered a sword.
Really?
A gun.
Oh.
German stoneware.
Germans? Where did the Germans come into this? What the hell?
Maybe they got it from the Germans.
Well, I mean, trade was a big thing back then, but
then they also found a copper ring and a Nuremberg token, which they claimed was like a coin.
Okay.
So, natives didn't have glass, they didn't have iron, they didn't have guns, they didn't have swords.
Anything like that.
So these were all literally European origin.
Correct, yeah.
So with 10 years of evidence supporting this theory, archaeologists firmly believe that this is the precise location where the lost colony sought safety. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, everything I've ever heard was I never heard that it was just CRO. I always heard it was just Croatoan.
But see, and I read both.
Sure.
So it's hard to say.
Who knows? Obviously, no one knows. But yeah, I mean that always made the most sense to me that they would have fled to this other island because of hostility on Roanoke and whatever. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, did the lost colonists survive?
That's the question they've always been asking. Mm-hmm. So
in the 1700s, the first person from England to document his excursion to the Outer Banks, his name was John Lawson.
Okay.
Met with a local tribe, and he noticed their fair eyes, English clothing, and they even knew some English words.
So they think like that was that one thing I said where they kind of commingled and like basically assimilated to the natives,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Okay.
Living in the area today, there are common surnames from that period. Mm-hmm. Dare, Barry, and Bishop.
Okay.
And many of them are mixed with Native American ancestry.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So guess what they're going to do?
DNA testing?
They're going to be all 23andMe. Just kidding. It's a little more scientific than that.
That's fantastic. Well done there.
So they do undergo, one person in particular does undergo a DNA analysis.
Sure.
So this organization called the Lost Colony DNA Project is searching for definitive biological proof that the colonists survived after joining a tribe.
Yeah.
And that their descendants are still living in the area.
Sure.
So if the colonists did join the Croatoan tribe, many would have taken native wives in order to continue their family lines.
Right.
If that's the case, we can still identify their offspring through male Y chromosome DNA.
Okay.
So the Y DNA is inherited by sons and their fathers.
Yeah.
And possible DNA mutations is how we can match ancestors.
Okay.
Or like better match.
Sure.
So a recent DNA sample from a North Carolina man with the surname of Brown was tested. They're looking for evidence that this man could be related to lost colonist William or Henry Brown.
Gotcha.
And they both spell it with Brown with an E on the end.
Oh, sure. Yeah, yeah.
So once the DNA is isolated, Mr. Brown's genetic markers will be compared with a pool of potential English and Native American ancestors to determine his ethnic makeup and also his haplogroup, which is like an isotope, a specific isotope.
Sure. Okay.
So Mr. Brown is known to be European and Native American. Like he knew that about himself.
Sure.
Okay. So the only part scientists are interested in is that Y DNA.
Yeah.
And that is inherited from the males in the family line.
Okay.
His Y DNA must bear European lines, European traits to match the European colonists.
Sure.
If it's Native Americans, then he cannot be a match.
Right.
Conclusively,
Oh, dear.
Mr. Brown is European.
Really?
He is a good candidate to be an ancestor of the lost colonists.
I mean, it just makes sense, though. I mean, you're basically abandoned there for 3 years or longer, really, if you think about it in a different way. And it's like, well, shit, we're out of supplies, we're out of this, food, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I get the whole cannibalism theory, but I feel like people aren't going to just jump to that.
No.
They're going to look for alternative solutions. Otherwise, oh man, they're not coming back. I'm going to eat you. It's like, what? I'm hungry. Give me a leg. You know? Do you have any thigh left?
Isn't that amazing, though?
Yeah.
I mean, so the Lost Colony DNA project is obviously like trying to find all of the ancestors, but this is just pieces, like one step towards like, no, that they survived and they lived with the Native Americans on Croatoan, and
that's a huge step because I mean, literally you've been looking for this for 440 years, roughly, and it's like, hey, we might actually have an answer for you. Or for anyone at this point, because anyone who cared back then is obviously long gone. But no, that's wild. Did you ever? I know you like scary stuff, and whenever you watch American Horror Story,
I have.
Did you watch the Roanoke one? Season?
I did, and I liked it a lot. Yeah,
I think I like that show. I get on shows and then sometimes
I haven't seen like the latest seasons.
Yeah, but I think that was probably the last season I watched, but I enjoyed it. It was different. Yeah. It was weird.
Yeah.
But I mean, this has been a mystery, and that's why it's cool that they're like, holy shit, this guy could literally be a descendant of the native and the Europeans that, well, hey, want to live together? I mean, let's do this.
Want to survive together?
Yeah, it's like, hey, I'm cold over here.
It gets cold in the winter.
You want to maybe come snuggle? I'm like, yeah, you look all right. And then old Billy Boy, why do we keep saying Billy Boy? No, I mean, it makes sense though.
It does.
It just like jumping to like fucking aliens. Come on. That is such a fucking cop out. Yeah. Aliens came down in 1580 whatever and said, you know what? No one's going to know where they went. We're taking them. What are they, on fucking Mars? I mean, for fuck's sake.
I think it's obvious that if they were on the island, it had eroded away. I think that is pretty obvious.
I mean, even back then, 3 years in the grand scheme of things isn't much, but I mean, hey man, this tide keeps getting a little higher.
I suppose so, but we didn't know it eroded until decades later.
No, and that's my point. So it's not like it was eroded that way, but it's just like, it just makes sense that, hey, they're not coming back. We need to figure some shit out.
Yeah, because he was gone for 3 years.
Yeah, and that back then, that's a long fucking... fucking took them 2.5 months just to even get there. Mm-hmm. So it's like,
like, would you expect him back in 6 months?
It's like, he told me he'd pick me up at 8, but it's like, it's like, what is happening here? So, I mean, they had to like alternative things to do. And it's like, all right, well, these people seem okay. Those people are dicks. Let's go south. Mm-hmm. And hey, man, we know how to make some tools. You know how to hunt for food for us. Let's get together.
So they think that the colony, in the part that has eroded, they walked up to the tip-top north.
Sure.
Carved Croatoan or CRO.
Yeah.
And then once on the vessel, they just went south.
Right. Yeah.
So they would go west, south.
Okay, sure.
Instead of going west to the mainland. And I'll have that map on our social media so you can see the map and where it's covered and everything.
For sure.
Because that still exists.
No, and that's because it's still called Roanoke, right? Because the other one you said, Croatoan is now Hatteras, but it's still called Roanoke this day and age, right?
Yes.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, it's been literally a mystery for over 400 years, and where people are like, where the fuck do these people go? Mm-hmm. Like
we have this diary, we have this evidence that they existed.
Yeah, we know we dropped them off here. Said it'd be right back.
Storm, why didn't they wait?
Storm, wars, whatever. It's like, dude, you could have waited. I mean, told you to be right back. 3 years later is right back in those days. But no, it's just wild because you'll never fully know. Even if they link this guy to be a descendant of the tribe or natives, whatever you want to call it, that they commingled with, the Europeans did. You never know you're never going to know what happened.
Yeah.
And that's just wild too, because obviously there was these English people, they knew, at least some of them knew how to write, not all of them maybe, but it's like, it's just crazy that there is no, besides CRO or Croatoan in a tree, there's no history, no writing, nothing. It's just like, did they forget?
And you can like visit things at Roanoke, and you can visit things at Hatteras. It's all replicas,
of course.
And I think at Hatteras there's also a museum that you can because they're still finding artifacts to this day on Hatteras.
And clearly, I mean that's wild because you said they had German origin, English origin. I mean swords and shit. Yeah. The Native Americans didn't have swords.
One guy found on Hatteras a piece of copper.
Okay.
And we had copper in America.
Yeah.
However, this copper, they did some testing on it to see if there was
back to.
Yeah, they wanted to see if there was arsenic in it, which is what the Europeans did.
Which weird. We've talked about that
before. And it did. It had arsenic in it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
It's just crazy they can like piece that shit together and like those little things, and link it back to a certain geological area, if you will. But no, that's crazy.
So I will have listed in our show notes the Lost Colony Y-DNA website.
Okay.
As well as there is a Lost Colony research project as well.
Okay.
I think they're mostly volunteers.
Oh, nice.
But they are the ones who are sifting through the water.
Are they really? Mm-hmm. Doing what did they say? Raking.
Yeah, raking. Yeah. There's an all that's interesting article, and then there's also I will have linked as well some of John White's articles, like his diary. Yeah, so they have images of that and everything.
And you said that still exists, right? Mm-hmm. Is that like in a museum somewhere? I'm gonna tell you real quick.
It's probably in some archive.
Sure. No. I mean, that would make sense because they want to preserve it. But, I mean, it's not like in a library. You can't check it out, obviously.
Right.
It'd be pretty badass, though. Yeah. But, no, that's just crazy that... How many? 118? 115, 118, they think, right?
Yes.
Just poof.
And Virginia Dare, the baby, was the first child born in America.
Not native. Mm-hmm. Correct.
Not
first European.
Yes, thank you. Yes, first European born.
Did I ever tell you I'm part Native American?
I think you have.
Yeah, I think I have.
Yeah.
It's very minimal. I don't remember the percent, but Chippewa.
Really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, but I always mix it up. I always have to ask my mom, and she's like, blah blah blah. I don't know why I can't remember it. I'm 45. I should remember this, but I've been literally asking my whole life. But either way, but yeah, I'm part Native American technically. So
what'd you think about your beer? It's completely empty.
I thought it was delicious.
Awesome.
And again, I am not a big stout person. I'm typically not a big dark beer person. I don't mind them. I just don't go out of my way to drink them. This was really good. I rather enjoyed the Belching Beaver Brewery peanut butter milk stout, peanut butter flavored milk stout. But no, the logo's pretty funny too. It's a beaver with nuts all over his face and holding a nut and a beer. It's pretty great. No, this was really good. I really enjoyed it. How did you like yours?
It was good. I had the Copper State Brewery Rugged North lager.
Yeah.
It's got a deer on it.
It does, yes.
Yeah. It was very good.
Excellent. I
probably wouldn't go out of my way to purchase it, but if I had it at a party, I would drink it.
I wouldn't say no. Well, I mean, at least you enjoyed it, though.
Yeah.
Again, we like to try different beers and beverages just to expand our horizons. I mean, they're not going to all be 100% hits, but, as long as you enjoyed it, that's all that matters. So.
Yeah, if you have a suggestion on a type of beer...
Or a specific beer, not even just a type beer, like from a certain brewery.
Let us know.
We'll certainly look for it if we can get it in our area. Oliver is rubbing his chin on the stand now over by Kate.
There's lots of noises coming from him because he's on the cords and stuff.
And I guess that's a good time to say,
Welp.
I suppose. All right, buffoons, that's it for today's episode.
Buckle up because we've got another historical adventure waiting for you next time. Feeling hungry for more buffoonery? Or maybe you have a burning question or a wild historical theory for us to explore.
Hit us up on social media. We're History Buffoons Podcast on Reddit, X, Instagram, and Facebook. You can also email us at historybuffoonspodcast@gmail.com.
Follow us wherever you get your podcasts and turn those notifications on to stay in the loop.
Until next time, stay curious and don't forget to rate and review us.
Remember, the buffoonery never stops.